Greetings, friends and fellow gamers. 'Tis I, Siegfried Trent, captain of SigTrent Games, and this is Chronicles number 6, where we're going to talk about what's been going on with SigTrent Games as of late and what we got coming up in the near future. So let's start with Night Magics. Night Magics is now available on sale. That's our second book that we have published. I'm really excited about it. You can find it on DriveThruRPG, on SigTrent.com, and on Sidekick. Night Magics is an urban fantasy themed expansion for everyday heroes. So you're going to find 2 new archetypes for casting spells, one of which you found in Shotgun Fantasy, if you have that. Anyway, that's the full spellcaster archetype. Then there's a new demi-caster archetype, which is kind of like your half-caster archetype. And then we've got 3 classes, the Atomicist, the Blade Banger, and the Street Witch, which use those archetypes and are all cool spellcasting classes of various sorts. Then there's about 70 spells in there, 71, 72, not sure exactly. Bunch of new backgrounds and professions that are kind of urban fantasy themed, and some feats and all that kind of good stuff. So lots of cool character building stuff. There's a little bit of lore and world building in the book, but it's more implicit than it is explicit. But it imagines a world in which magic and technology coexist together. Anne did the layout, and people really seem to like it. It's kind of done like, a girl student's notebook. It's got lots of stickers and kind of cool pages and stuff. I'm really proud of it. I think it's really great. We didn't purchase a lot of art for it, so we wanted the layout of the book to be kind of the art and presentation itself. But it's still really easy to read, so I hope you like that. I think it's got a really great cover by a new artist that we're using, Derek Stevens, who's really good. Print on demand is coming very soon. I am just previewing Anne's files for print on demand, and then once we've got all those done and they pass all of our internal tests, we'll load them up on DriveThruRPG, and you should be able to print the book and have it sent to you. Print on demand worked great for Shotgun Fantasy, so I anticipate it'll work well here. Now, we usually have to wait a week or 2 after we put the files up, because we've got to get a physical proof of the book sent to us. We've got to review it, make sure it's good, and then tell them it's okay. And then once we've all done that, it'll be available on print on demand. So at least a couple of weeks, but we'll be sure to let everybody know when it's available, of course. We're also picking up some extra sales on Shotgun Fantasy and Hero Sheets, because whenever you do a marketing campaign, there's some people that you missed last time around. So when we were marketing Shotgun Fantasy, not everybody got to see that. And so as we market Night Magics, people see it, they get it, and they go, oh, there's this other thing over here, and they pick up that too. And so we get some knock-on sales. So the more products we can release and get out there, every time we get to talk about something, something else is going to sell as well. So that's just kind of the business strategy you have as a small publisher, or I imagine any publisher. And that's what's going on with Night Magics, which is quite a bit. We're really excited about it. Hero Smart is up and live and running, so you can go, and if you haven't seen a little video I have that shows you how Hero Smart works, you can check that out. Hero Smart is a character builder that we have, so you can make characters with everyday heroes. It's super fast. If you kind of know what kind of character you want to make, you can make a character in like less than a minute. It's really great. It doesn't have everything from the core rulebook implemented just yet, but we are working on that. But it's enough that you can make most characters, and in a format that you can play, and you just print out a PDF and away you go. So that's pretty cool. We met our fundraising goal for it very quickly, thanks to generous support from our fans out there. So I was really happy about that. Thank you very, very much. We had a $120 goal, which basically covers the hosting and the domain name registration for the first year of Hero Smart. So it is paid for. It won't cost us money, which is great. Now, Anne spends a lot of time working on it, many late nights coding away. And I spent a lot of time testing, trying to make sure everything works correctly according to the rules of the book. We got a really cool things coming. Anne is working on all the class features. So you'll be able to see your like sneak attack damage or smash damage. Things like ultimate brutality will be calculated into the weapon attack and damage values. The strong heroes thing with their using strength for heavy guns, things like that. The sleuth's ability to use wisdom for a lot of different weapons. All those things are going to be coming very soon. And will just automatically all be calculated for you, no matter what level you are. Picks the right things, so that's pretty cool. After that, we're going to do feats, and then multi-class feats, and then finally companions. And then it should be feature complete for the core rules. So that'll be really great, but we'll have some updates coming. We have a new fundraising goal, which is to buy pizzas for Anne so she can be well fed, because if she spends all night programming, she doesn't really have time to cook. And I often spend all night writing, so I don't have time to cook. And so occasionally we get a pizza when we do burn the all-night oil for both of us. So that helps us keep going. So I've got that goal up on Ko-fi, and there'll be a link down in the show notes where you can support us on that. Of course, you're supporting Hero Smart directly, but you're also supporting everything we do and bring you as fans for free. All right, next up is Master Builder. So this is the card game that we're working on. It'll be our first board game release, and the first time we're going to do actual print run production on a product. So it's going to be a big project. It won't be coming out really in the near future, so you'll just be hearing about it for quite a while. But I want to tell you what's going on with it because we have been busy. So right now the working title is Master Builder Dungeons. Master Builder being a series of games that use very similar mechanics but have different theming. And Dungeons is the first theme. It's the one that pulled best on our Discord. And it's something that, talking to people, that they like the idea of. So I think we're going with that. I've got an artist lined up, somebody that I had made contact with before. It's a Polish artist, and she's really great. She does incredibly good board game work, really iconic images, really punchy, generally themed more towards kind of a, I guess you want to say a kid's game, but not necessarily. She does games for adults, but they have a iconic, bright cartoon quality. And you might think that's a bit of a contrast with a theme of dungeons and evil overlords creating dungeons. But we're going to do kind of one of those cute meets adorable, meets evil kind of styles where the subject matter is kind of dark, but the illustrations are very bright and kind of fun. That way it can appeal to a wide range of people. We just want it to be really accessible, but also kind of fun and hobby referential. So it'll be humorously toned, evil overlords building death trap dungeons. That's kind of the way it's going to look and feel. The dungeon card designs are all complete, so I've got all the rules and everything put together. We're still playtesting, of course. I made some changes on the in-game mechanics and also some additional changes on the card layout as we go through playtest, just to try and refine everything, make it flow well, make it look good, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to get a test card back from the artist soon. She insisted on doing a test piece of art just to make sure that I think she's a perfect fit. I already think she is, but that's fine. We'll do that, and that'll give me something fun to show everybody so you can get a vision of what the game will look like. And so I'm really excited about that. I've been pricing, printing. I think we are initially going to shoot for a 1,000 game run. That's where you start to get decent economies of scale. It's a little small to still sell into nationwide distribution through game stores, but it's big enough that I can sell directly to local game stores or game stores I meet at conventions, that kind of thing, and also sell directly to fans. So I think that's the goal. We will probably do some kind of crowdfunding effort for it. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think we will. And if that does really well, then we might ramp up the production. But I think at a minimum, I'm going to make 1,000 copies. Now, that's a financial investment for me, probably going to run around $10,000 or so, which on my shoestring budget is a challenge. But I'll do a little bit of fundraising. I do know some people, and at worst, I can take out a loan in order to front the cost. And I'm pretty sure that selling less than half the games, I can make it up to pay that back. So long as I hustle and do a good job, I don't think it will be a huge risk. But it is a little bit of a risk, and it's a bit of a leap of faith for us as a company. But that's the kind of thing I think we need to do. We will have to take some risky steps here and there. I do want to grow by grassroots, but if I ever want to stop working at the gift shop and go full-time for SigTrent Games, then that's the kind of thing I'll have to do. So it's time to do some fundraising. All right. Next up, contracts. That landscape is always shifting around. I've got one locked in, which is really good. We just finished up all of our layout contracts for Evil Genius Games, but I think some more are going to come in, so that's nice as well. That keeps Anne busy and keeps some funds coming in. So thank you very much, Evil Genius Games. Great working with you guys. And also, I've got a writing contract for Evil Genius, which is nice. And then I've got a pretty big writing contract that we're in the negotiation phase on. Pretty sure that's going to come through. We just have to figure out what the right amount is and the right time frame for it. So that's pretty exciting. So we've definitely got some good funding coming in, which will help us on that front, but also keep me pretty busy and keep Anne pretty busy as well. But that's the goal. Yeah, all right. Evil Genius Games news. I'll talk a little bit about what they're doing when cool stuff happens over there. They got Rock Band Heroes that just came out. This is one I've been waiting for. It's been on their to be released list, and I was really excited to see what happens. Back in high school, I used to have a game setting called Rock World. Rock World was like a post apocalyptic rock and roll universe thing, which I may do a book for someday. It's on the list of potential projects. But this is more like contemporary. Your characters are in a rock band, they have some wacky adventures, but they also perform concerts and do the music and stuff. So really cool. I haven't read through it in detail, but I like what I've seen so far. So good job, Brian and Goober. Really excited for this one. Very creative, and I can't wait to actually like run a game of Rock Band Heroes or playing a game. I think that'd be great. So that's really cool. The gang at Evil Genius are all out at Origins this weekend. As I am recording this, maybe as you're viewing it, maybe not. So I wish them all the best of luck. Hope everyone has a great time at Origins. Play lots of everyday heroes and have a great time. Nomad Ann is doing No Man's Sky over on Twitch right now. It's kind of her mainstay game for Twitch streaming. I'm not sure exactly what kind of activities she is up to over there, but you can check it out on the weekends on Saturday and Sunday morning/afternoons, depending on where you live in the US. I've been playing some games, since these happen every month. Quite a few different games. Highlights, though, Subnautica 2. Anna and I played that together. I was talking about it coming up last time. It was really fun. I didn't run into any bugs and did crash it a couple of times, but overall, I thought it was really smooth and felt like a finished product, just only a portion of a finished product. So you can only go so far in the story. But I would say that chapter has a satisfying conclusion and a nice arc to get there. So it's really good storytelling. A little better than like Subnautica Below Zero was, and that was kind of its weak point. Visually, it looks really good. It's, I think, missing a little bit of richness that Subnautica 1 had as a finally finished game. I'm guessing Subnautica 2 will be a year or two before the final version of it comes out. But for an early access game, it was really good. I think we spent $20 on each copy, and I felt like I got $20 worth playing it. So, good game. I recommend. Pokemon Champions just came out last week. Okay, well, it didn't just come out last week. I got it last week. It came out a month ago or so. And I haven't played a Pokemon game in a really long time. This one is free, which is what got me interested. It is also like a PvP tournament style Pokemon game. It is intended for their competitive play environment, but in a way, it really opens up that kind of play to casual players. Because what it was before, you had to buy the Pokemon games, play all the way through the games, then go grind to get all the Pokemon that you want, train them with different items, and go questing. So you really had to play those games a lot if you wanted to step into arena and play with other people. And the luck you had in the games and how hard you farmed things would determine how good the Pokemon were that you were battling with. But in Pokemon Champions, it's sort of like a gotcha game. You just sort of open your pack and you pick your Pokemon. They're automatically leveled up to the max. They already have the best stats. You can play around with what stat sliders you want. There's an in-game currency that you use to train them. But I found as a brand new player, I had no difficulty. I didn't have to spend any money in order to get competitive guys and to get in there and start having good competitive matches with experienced players. Because I've been watching it on YouTube, I have a little bit of an advantage. I kind of know how to play, and I'm usually good at games like that. So I was able to win plenty of games and move up the ladder and just have a really good time with it, spending nothing. So that's great. It's coming out on iOS, which is one of the first times you'll see a Pokemon game accessible on a device outside of the Nintendo sphere. I happen to have a Switch, which I haven't used in years, but I busted out for that. So I'm really having a good time with that. And a new season just started. So there's new Pokemon to get even after I just started playing. So kind of an embarrassment of riches there. I'm really enjoying that. And I recommend it as well. That's about it for gaming news, personal stuff. I'm feeling pretty good. I was sick a few weeks ago and kind of had a bout of laryngitis and coughing. So a little bit of health issues. Nothing serious, though. Just annoying. Gets in the way of everyday life. Working at the gift shop, it's summer, so it's really busy now when I'm out there. It's hard work, but, honest work, so it goes well. So far, I'm just excited about 2026. It has been kind of a tiring year so far. It's been a lot of effort, but I've had some really good gaming, and also just a lot of things are happening with SigTrent Games right now. We've made a lot of major strides, and I'm really proud of that. One of the challenges of running your own company is that even when you do make major milestones and make a lot of progress, there's always so much more to be made. There's always a bigger mountain to climb. So it can be a little challenging, especially for me, to kind of, I don't know, figure out how to keep motivated, to keep moving forward, but also be excited about the things you've already accomplished. So it's an interesting balancing act. We were talking the other day, how do we celebrate the release of Night Magic? So I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I'm really happy about it, but there's nothing special I want to do. I just want to move on to the next thing and work on Master Builder and work on Hero Smart and keep developing things and do these contracts. And so you just kind of get caught up in what's next, and it's hard to look back. So I don't know. That is how it is. But every time I see kind words about the games we're doing, or I see people playing our games, or having fun, or asking questions, that for me is kind of the ultimate celebration. So thank you very much for all of that. Well, lots of big things to come for SigTrent Games and for myself. Thank you very much for tuning into this version of the Chronicles. We'll be back in 2, 3, 4 weeks, whatever it happens to be, when I've got lots more news to share with you. Until then, good gaming and take care. Bye-bye.